think what society will look like in 10 years' time is perhaps more involvement of the younger LGBT community. There has been an increase of young LGBT persons coming out, showing up, and just being themselves. I think there will be more of that, greater participation in government from LGBT persons, and just being involved in political campaigns, voting, and just having that influence as we should have.
I think we have come a long way too, just with our attitudes towards LGBT people. I know we have a long way to go. There's still a lot of homophobia here in Jamaica, but I think when you compare it to, the stories that we hear 10 years ago, it's completely different stories that you hear. So I think a lot of changes regarding our culture and our attitudes towards LGBT people as a society in Jamaica is changing. So I hope that kind of progression will continue in the future.
And we're becoming more and more visible now. So what I'm really hoping for is that visibility gives us the space to be better included in the different things that are happening in Jamaica. And I do believe within 10 years we might see important law reform, but more critically, we might see institutions making even more steps to remove stigma and discrimination and to ensure there is inclusion.
In Jamaica, it's a long way. It's a long way to go. For the most part, as a people, we have not yet accepted that there are LGBT people among us. I think Jamaica has one of the nastiest slurs in relation to its LGBT people. And in 10 years' time, I really would like to think positively and to say that maybe there will be policies that protect these people. There will be laws that say you can't throw out your family member for being LGBT. There will be laws that says in the workplace you have to treat LGBT staff members equally as you treat other persons. I hope there will be laws that say, that's rigid on discrimination against LGBT people within the organization, within the national context, and within community groups. I hope that I will see more and more campaigns going forward that sensitizes the nation on LGBT people. I hope that in 10 years' time, Jamaica will be one step closer to being the place of choice to live, work, raise LGBT families.
I see the inclusion better than this. I see the inclusion better than today. Maybe not to where we expect it to be because it's a slow process. I believe it's a sure one, and I want to believe it's a sure one. But in 10 years' time, I see less violence, I see less attacks, I see less abuse, I see more understanding, I see another generation willing to be more tolerable of just inclusion and respecting what inclusion is. And the biggest change I'm thinking is that trans people can finally have an identity of being trans and respecting that identity. So I'm hoping in 10 years' time I'm able to get my correct gender on my ID and gender markers, and of course my birth paper being able to depol without a problem. And so I'm hoping that's going to happen in 10 years' time without any problems.